Jamie, obviously a disappointing result in the derby last time out, and now you're facing the only other team this season that has beaten you. Is that maybe, I guess, a coincidental but fortunate bit of timing? You get to bounce back from one wrong by putting another one right?
Yeah, maybe. But if you look at it, to only lose to those two teams just shows the consistency that we've been able to bring this season. Obviously, Victory beat us in the derby, and you saw what it meant to them, and they made obviously a song and dance about beating us. But we're top of the league. We've been there for a long time, and one-off games we need to be better. But at the same time, there's no panic stations from us because we're at the top of the league, like I said, and we're just putting full steam ahead and knowing that we're coming up against a very good Sydney team, and our standards need to be really high because they have been in the past, and there's no point getting carried away after one defeat.
So going off that answer, I'm imagining internally this week you've been pointing to the derby as a one-off blip. Your consistency is what you're more after, and you see that as more indicative of the quality of the two teams. Yeah,
look, I don't want to disrespect Victory in any way. They were desperate, they needed the points, and from our point of view, you can't win them all as much as we try to win every single game. Sometimes you come up against teams that are better on the night, and they took their chances when they came, and but we had to move on straight away. We knew that we were coming up against a short turnaround in terms of 5 days to play Sydney, which is what you want. You want to get your mind straight away focused onto the next game, and another home game, which is great for us. And Sydney's a very tough team to play against. They're in form at the moment. They're a team that's been very successful the last few years, and with some new of their foreign faces, they're a very good team.
Because when you look back at that Sydney game that you previously played, it was Rado first game in charge. I think you, Marco, and Lex had been off a plane for 48 hours or something like that after you'd gotten back from Qatar. So do you feel as though you were at a much better place heading into this clash than you were the last one?
Yeah, I think the last game's a bit of a hard one to gauge. Obviously, Rado's first game, we'd been away for 3 or 4 weeks. The boys hadn't played for 3 or 4 weeks. Sydney were in the same boat as well, so there's no real excuses from our end. But obviously the new style under Rado, we're come to fruition now, and we're scoring a lot of goals. But obviously our main focus this week has been making sure we can try and stop conceding so many silly goals, because we've got such a fantastic back four and such good depth that some of the goals we've been conceding, we've let ourselves down, and especially at the other end, we're scoring goals, but we're also creating a lot more chances that should be taken. I pride myself on that as well, and I'll hold my hand up and take responsibility. Last week I could have had 1 or 2, so you look yourselves in the mirror, you dust yourself off, and you get ready to go again, and just can't wait to be out there tomorrow night.
How are you finding you're playing that new system? Because obviously a striker such as yourself, a lot of your game, it's that psychic connection and knowing what your teammates are going to do before they do it. But now under Rado's system, they're being given a lot more license to improvise and create things out of nothing. How do you go about trying to work within that system as a player who's predicated on getting assists from these players?
Yeah, it is. It's been a nice, when I say a nice change, it's been something that I've had to adapt to, and as players you're always going to come up with different styles and try and get used to how coaches want to play. And myself has been more of a case of just trying to attract both centre-backs, stay out of the build-up. I know people say that, why doesn't Jamie get in the build-up? But that's a style of play. That's a reason why the coach wants me in the box for those sort of key moments. And Rado always harps on about playing mini games and in wide areas, but if you put me in wide areas, then who's going to be in the box? So just being able to adapt to that. Lex has been on fire this last few weeks, and Tills and Andy and Valon and Richard scored a hat-trick not too long ago. So we're firing at the front, but I do believe that there's a lot more improvement in us, and more chances can be created and scored, definitely.
And mate, also this weekend it's the Pride round for the A-Leagues. I understand you're wearing a Pride Rounds t-shirt today while you're speaking with us. Could you maybe give us an insight into, we know the A-Leagues clubs, the A-League men's clubs all received educational workshops with Pride Cup as part of this round. What was some of the stuff that they went through with you and the other City boys, and maybe what did you learn from that process?
Well, we just learnt that everybody deserves and has every right to feel included, whether that's players, staff, fans that come to our games. you want them to feel welcomed. You know, this game of football that we play, and our football club has done a lot of work. You want people to come to games and feel that they can be themselves, and that's very important. You know, very proud of Josh Cavallo, who, you know, last year did a very brave thing, and it's not easy to do, but he's an ex-Melbourne City player, and you saw Chex spoke about it during the week. So we want everyone to feel very included, and us as players, we support it thoroughly, and we can't wait to get out there tomorrow and really support and celebrate everybody who wants to be themselves. And you know, this game's for everybody. There's no hiding from that.
Stan, did you have anything?
Yeah. How, I guess, like, was it difficult to sit through those educational workshops? Because I've seen the numbers, I've run I'm familiar with all of this, and when I say difficult, I mean in terms of the harrowing nature of some of the statistics. Like, what was that experience like to actually sit through and actually see the reality of the numbers that go unnoticed unless you're actually looking at it?
Yeah, it's a shame that people can't be themselves. It does get upsetting when you know that people are hiding away from what they want to feel. At the end of the day, we just play football. We don't want to get sucked into politics or anything like that, but we know that as players, we can educate people, whether that's players that are playing on the pitch, in the grandstands, or on their laptops or on their phones trolling. People need to be educated that it's okay to be yourself, and it's shown a lot of bravery from people, and at the same time, we want everyone to feel involved. Football is a great game that is played all along the world, and we support it through Melbourne City. New York have done some stuff, and also Manchester City. So we include everybody. There's no way anyone could say that, and yeah, we look forward to celebrating Pride this Saturday night.
And obviously, it's not just what's happening on Saturday night, but it's also what's happening on Sunday. It's around the precinct as a whole. Have you had any sort of sneak peekers to some of the displays and whatnot, or are you going to be seeing it for the first time on Saturday?
No, I think there's going to be a lot of things getting done from Melbourne City's perspective. Obviously, it's our home game. I believe both captains will wear the Pride captain's armband. There'll be some corner flags with the Pride flag. There'll be some LED lights at the stadium. And there'll be some stuff that will be happening before the game and post the game that the players are obviously not aware of, but there will be some activities and stuff, and I'm sure the whole league are going to buy into it, from the A-League's men and the A-League's women game. And yeah, we look forward to a great weekend to celebrate people who just want to be themselves and to make them feel included, because at the end of the day, you should be able to be yourself, and we love that.
And Jamie, just wanted to quickly ask, I won't ask you about next month because nothing's been made official yet, and I don't want to put you in a position to ask about that, but we have had it confirmed that the Socceroos are going to be playing at Wembley later this year against England. One of the, well, outside of a competitive match, it's one of the biggest fixtures that a Socceroos team could possibly get. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was your reaction when you heard that the Socceroos would play England on Wembley Stadium?
Yeah, well, my debut for the Socceroos was away at England in Stadium of Light, so it brought back a nice few memories to think that, you know, when I made my debut, we were always talking about the previous game the Socceroos had played at Upton Park, and to know now that we'll be playing at Wembley this time, which is a historic ground not only in England but worldwide, and playing against some of the best players in the world, and we did that at the World Cup and competed very well. So I believe that obviously in October Australia will go there and give England a very good game. So yeah, if selected, obviously it will be a huge honour, but it's a long way away, and there'll be some friendlies before that. But yeah, huge marquee fixture, and maybe sometime in the near future get England to come to the MCG.
Would it mean a bit extra to you as an Australian of Scottish heritage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad would think so, you know. Yeah, obviously when I played England for the first time, look, I did my apprenticeship in England, and you know, played against some of those boys that are playing in that England national team now. So it's great to see how they've kicked on, and they're such a nation that's well followed. You know, they look at the Premier League now. It's easily the best league in the world, and all those players applying their trade there, and someone like Harry Kane, who's just scored 267 goals for Tottenham, is an icon of the game, and someone I appreciate because he scores goals at the touch of a hat. So whether it's from the penalty spot or around the box or outside the box. So yeah, huge fixture, and I'm sure all the Aussie fans that are over in London will be buzzing.